And welcome live inside 302 Sports Saturday afternoon hoops here at Sanford High School. It's a battle of two of the best teams in the state in St. Elizabeth's and Sanford. And we are jumping right into this one underway here at Sanford High School. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach, John Kaleja, Jason Winchell. Pat Garianis here as well, checking out his alma mater, and Mike Lang. Nice crew on hand here for some Saturday basketball. We got a Pepsi Cam on the floor. Excuse me, that's a Coca-Cola can making its way onto the hardwood. Coach, did you ever see that when you were coaching in your day or playing?
Well, you throw a good story at me. Back in '85, we're playing Howard down in Newark, and somebody actually threw a Pepsi cup at me when I was on the foul line. The game ended.
No way.
Yes, we'll tell you more about that later.
Oh, my goodness. How about that as Taylor elevates from just outside the free throw line. No good, but a second chance here for the Warriors after the miss. Off the screen, Elgood kicks to DJ Jones, makes the extra pass to Hart, open three. Elgood, the rebound tracked down by Price, and up ahead quickly to Nixon Jr. St. E's, they do like to run. As Alexander drives and kicks, Kenneth Hunter for three, and that won't fall.
Something we've seen St. E's do a lot of back in their holiday tournament. Get out, spread the floor. You know, transition, they like that. And I think we're going to see both teams doing a little bit of that. Sanford probably being a little bit more methodical on the half-court end than they traditionally have done.
Sanford and St. E's, both of them have been up and around 1, 2, and 3 all year long in terms of the rankings. Alexander contested three, and the bank open on a Saturday afternoon as Alexander from beyond the arc off the window. So a 3-0 lead for St. E's to begin this one. Elgood drives off the foot of Hunter. And instead it's the Vikings now in transition. Numbers, nice feed from Alexander, finished off by Price.
Something I think, as I had indicated earlier, we're going to see St. E's do. They get out in transition. Sanford was a little slow there in their transition defense.
Hart thought about the three. He'll take it. Second attempt from beyond the arc for Hart, as that one just misses. So 2 minutes into the opening quarter, a nice crowd here and a good atmosphere at Sanford High School. And as we talked about earlier, Coach, we were at Ursuline on Thursday night for the Sanford girls' big win over the Red Raiders as Holden gets in the paint. His floater's up and through, and he's got a nice floater as he's been showing it off all year for the freshman. And Coach Hart going to want to talk things through, and we'll sit right here and talk things through with our coach up here on the balcony. What have you seen so far? We're only a few minutes in and a 7-0 run to start things for the Vikings.
Sanford's getting good looks at the basket on the offensive end. You know, they got to make them. I'm sure Coach Hart is going to look for a high percentage here off of this timeout, come out, run a nice little set. You know, and try and get the ball in closer to the basket, maybe in the Taylor down inside. But, you know, what we're seeing so far from St. E's is, you know, what we saw, as I'd indicated earlier, and what they've been doing all year is, you know, they got the horses. They're going to get out. They're going to run. They're going to transition. They're very unselfish with the basketball.
Yeah, both teams coming out after the timeout from Coach Hart and Sanford, and we caught a bunch of Sanford early on in the season. They just went on an absolute tear to start the year. They're blowing out pretty much everyone. And then they've gotten off to some slower starts here as of late, been able to overcome those and still win some ball games. But a slower start for the Warriors here today as well as they trail 7-0. Extra pass to the corner, it's DJ Jones, and the lefty knocks down the corner three. There's the pressure in the backcourt applied by Sanford. Possession, they're going to stay with the Vikings.
Sanford going with the 1-2-1-1, full court press, trapping.
They're going to get the turnover there. Good defense by Hart, who was able to poke it away and must have touched Alexander or Holden on the way out of bounds. So the Warriors, you see with that pressure, you mentioned, Coach, able to get the turnover.
Keep looking at it as see if St. E's continues to struggle. Last two possessions, St. E's has had a tough time, but here we go again.
They're off to the races. And he stepped on the baseline. And Coach, you mentioned it. They've been great when they saw him out and running during the holiday tournament. We were there for a few of those matchups, and that time had numbers, just stepped on the baseline.
St. E's is saying, if you're going to press, we're going to press, and I think we're going to see it from baseline to baseline with both teams today.
That's right. If you want to speed things up, we like it sped up. Up ahead, Jones catches it, turns, shot rejected underneath by Kenny Hunter. Holden around the screen. Tough shot with the left hand. And Taylor with the board. Nice defense by Nixon Jr. poking it away on the crossover by Hart. The loose ball now, we have a battle for it in the backcourt. Was there a whistle and a foul? It was Nixon and Hart who were heading towards the basketball. Some contact there. And I think this one going to go against the Vikings.
First foul of the game.
Yeah, it'll be on Nixon, yeah, first foul. So it was Nixon that poked it away. He'll then get called for the personal, trying to track down the loose ball. 7-3, halfway into our opening quarter. St. E settling into that now zone defensively. Hart 0 for 2 from 3. This time passes it up, makes the extra pass off the knee though of Jones. And now Nixon up ahead, a beautiful feed on the outlet by Alexander.
Looked like he got hit on the arm there, no call, but got the finish at the basket.
And the Vikings wanted the call on that one. 9-3, Sanford trying to quickly answer, some nice crisp passing on the other end. And it leads to a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play for DJ Jones.
One of the good things that I see with both teams so far is, you know, they're kind of locked in. They're not getting caught up in the emotion of the game here early. There's a lot of high level, you know, calmness to both teams, and that's a attribute to both coaches.
St. E's once again looking down the floor. It was Alexander after the missed free throw. He missed the open three. Hunter will have it off a bounce, and his jump shot is off the mark as well. Here come the Warriors. Nice feed from Elgood to to Jones, who couldn't finish it. And now Alexander driving and kicking. Things getting sped up here. And we'll see if somebody decides to slow things down a bit. A beautiful feed from Elgood to Jones. Unable to slam it down. It's now in the corner. It was Price, and his three short.
Both teams are getting good looks from the outside and the inside. I'm sure both coaches are hoping that a couple of those shots will fall. They're both getting some good looks.
Elgood. It's been kind of the driving force so far, controlling the basket. How about the defense there, man-to-man on from Alexander? It's then going to lead to an Elgood step-back three, and the lefty cans one straight away.
Good solid defensive pressure by St. E's. They're getting after it. Sanford gets that good look at the three. Cuts the lead to one.
That pass somehow found Nixon, who gets inside. Floater's too strong. A nice strong rebound from Price. He'll turn, fire around and out. And a third chance now for St. Elizabeth as we have a whistle down on the floor. So that foul going to be on the floor. It's going to go against Trevor Webster, who's into the ball game for the Warriors. It's also alongside, oh, I heard a three, don't see it out there. But it's going to be Pharaoh McNeil, Azir Elgood, DJ Jones, Jaden Taylor, and Hart on the floor for Sanford. And then it's Holden, Hunter, Alexander, Price, and Nixon here for the Vikings. Price tried to get down the floor, and it's going to be a reach-in foul on Jones.
One of the things I always look at is when teams inbound the ball, whether it be on the baseline or sideline, are they running a set, or are they just getting the ball in and then looking to get into their offense from there? And it looks like on this sideline out of bounds, we're going to go with a little set as Coach Cassidy calls it out.
See what Nixon does here. Gets it over to Alexander. 1:43 remaining. Alexander, a burst to the basket. I'll tell you, those young talent for St. Elizabeth, as well as Sanford, here today. Hart, third time's a charm for him. Not going to have that one fall. Taylor battling three Vikings for the rebound. Who's going to come out with it? It is the Warriors' Pharaoh McNeil. And now it's Jones on the baseline, and they might get him for the offhand, and they do. The extension of that left elbow, Coach.
That's a tough one there.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way. I'm going to leave it to the ref. He had a better advantage point than I did.
That's what I like to say as well. So that one will go against Jones, his first, I believe the team's third. Tough vantage point on the far scoreboard up here on the balcony as we approach 1:10. And ticking here in the opening quarter, 11-8. It was a 7-0 run to start for St. E. Sanford now closing the gap. Alexander off the dribble. And now a second chance for St. E's Nixon to the basket, exploding for two.
Something you don't like to see as a coach, giving up some offensive rebounds. In that case, results in a little putback. You want them to box out a little bit better if you're Coach Hart.
Hart, extra pass to the corner. Pharaoh McNeil, an open three, overshot it. But it winds up in Elgood's hands. His floater on the baseline won't fall, but Sanford doing a good job crashing the offensive glass today to start the game, and Hart has his first field goal. And then thrown away on the inbound. Hart looking for a matter of 2 buckets in a couple seconds, can't get it. And now St. E's with a clear path and numbers the other way. Hunter has it stripped from behind on a savvy play in transition defensively by Hart.
Hart's the brother of head coach Khalid Hart, who starred at Marist, was a star here first at
Red
Sanford.
Fox. How about that? There you go, Marist. And we were talking with Pat before the game. He was giving us reminiscent on some of his memories going up against that Sanford team of 2010 and 2011. We'll talk about that when we come back for the second quarter. 5 seconds and ticking, 13-10. 3 seconds for Alexander. I don't know if he sees it. Gets it to the wing. It's going to be up at the buzzer for Nixon Jr., and instead, it's going to take us to the end of the opening quarter. It's 13-10. And, Coach, what stood out to you here after 1 quarter of action?
Both teams are getting good looks offensively. I think Sanford's coach is probably, Coach Hart is hoping that they can, knock some of those open threes down. You'd like to see both teams box out a little bit more, not give up some offensive rebounds. We saw back-to-back, possessions for each team give up offensive rebounds. On the one down here, I think we had 2 or 3 offensive rebounds. Sanford got their last basket. So, I'm looking forward to an exciting second quarter. Again, both teams, very athletic, very skilled, and, looking at some of the things they're also doing offensively.
It's a packed house here at Sanford for a Saturday afternoon as the snow starts to fall. They're outside here in, I believe, it's Hockessin, Coach, that they refer to it as,
yes,
here at Sanford. So starting to snow and things heating up in here on the hardwood. It was a 7-0 run, as we mentioned, to start the game for St. Elizabeth, and then since then a 10-6 run for the Sanford Warriors. Jaden Taylor held scoreless in that first quarter, as well as the leading scorer for St. Elizabeth, Kenny Hunter. And Pat was telling us before the game about having to guard Coach Hart back in his heyday in 2010, 2011. Quite the assignment for him, as he recalled for us pregame, as we are underway here in the second quarter. And you're going to have to tell us more about that story with the Pepsi can, Coach, for sure. As Holden gets inside, stripped away. Taylor on the floor, but he's going to be wrapped up. I think a foul coming up here against Harris, who is in off the bench for the Vikings.
Sanford has quite a tradition with their basketball program. They have Gary Washam, who's a former player, Earl Miller, and then Coach Hart, all Sanford grads. Good thing to see. You'd like to see more of that throughout the state. Yeah,
how about that? That is. I mean, you would think it would be more like that, but that is just not the case in most instances. That is good to see here at Sanford. A bunch of alumni and a bunch of talented alumni at that here for the Warriors. St. Elizabeth's a great coaching staff over there as well. Coach Cassidy. Elgood. Quick catch and shoot for Webster, and he knocks it down, the former Caravel Buccaneer. Now the on-ball defense applied out on the perimeter from Webster, who was feeling it after the field goal from beyond the arc. I think they're going to get him with a hip check up here on the three-point line.
Sanford's extended their pressure here in the last possession, turn up the intensity a little bit. Let's see how that works, as long as they can stay out of foul trouble.
Can they get the turnover? They will again on the inbound. Nixon lost it out of play. Special thanks to Mr. Jones allowing us to be here today, athletic director at Sanford High School. We're situated nicely up here on the balcony. A nice view, Coach. What do you think of this view?
Oh, it's very nice. Nice gym.
That is. Love it here. Coach Thompson and Coach Kendall for the Sanford Lady Warriors down the road right here to our right, too, as Webster going to launch another three. Same spot, different result. Taylor, though, on the putback, and it took a quarter and a minute, but Jaden Taylor with his first field goal on the offensive glass.
Sanford again with their extended man.
Another tough call there under the basket on the far side. Alexander wanted the foul call. Sanford wanted the out of bounds going the other way. It'll stay here with the Vikings. Alexander able to let it go, saw the defense coming quickly and was able to float it up quick and get it through there on the baseline. 15-15 with 6:08 to go in half number one. And it's what we expected early, back and forth. And then we're going to get a foul here on Alexander, who's going to show his visual frustration.
I think there was a little confusion there by St. E's. They initially had a couple players up to set their zone press. A couple of the other players were in man, and then it transitioned down here into the half court. Now they're in their full man-to-man.
Seen a little bit of confusion there on the offensive end as well to start for St. E's, as both teams trying to work through relatively slow starts. And who's not having a slow start is Azir Elgood, who knocks down another three. Here's the freshman Holden. Driving, kicking to Nixon on the baseline as they'll work it around. It leads to a Harris corner three. And it won't go. Hart drives, kicks, a three this time in the near side corner. As into the ball game for Sanford and unable to get that one to go, as then Taylor going to send one off of that wall there on the far side. And Coach, I think got an interesting story about the banners in that wall over there as well, don't you?
Yeah, there's a couple of them, you know, thanks to a lot of great players and great coach, Coach Jackson back in the 80s here. And then Coach Waterman was able to continue that success as St. E's responds here with a nice three by Holden.
18 all now, back and forth we go. 5 minutes to go in the half. 7-5, Sanford outscoring St. E's in quarter number two. And crashing the boards hard, but couldn't come up with the second chance. It'll be out of play, Vikings basketball. So in for Sanford is the freshman Jacob Allen. That's number 0 who you see down there. Again, we've done a lot of Sanford games throughout the season. Not many minutes for the young freshman, so he's out there getting his feet wet here in this big-time matchup. That one drive and knocked away.
Great defensive pressure by Webster, and then he was able to recover into the passing lane, tip the ball out of bounds. Both these teams are very athletic, very skilled. Seeing some good basketball by both teams on both ends of the court.
I have a feeling these two teams might meet later on down the road, potentially at the Bob Carpenter Center. That's how good these two teams are. Price stops on a dime, turns, fires, and hits.
I was thinking earlier when Sanford came down, there was a chance to extend the lead to 5 or 6, and I thought Coach Cassidy might call a timeout, but you know, they've been playing all season long, and that was something I was talking to Coach Thompson about before the game with his girls team. You know, he was like, at the beginning of the season, we weren't that good, but I'm sure Coach Cassidy would say something very similar.
Yeah.
You know, is that, hey, we've improved. And when we saw them, you know, there in the Viking Classic, you could tell they were a polished team then, and they're only going to get better as the season goes on here.
And again, both teams with some young players as well. St. E's more so than Sanford, but both with young talent. And to see how quickly those young Vikings have grown up here this year, very impressive, especially from what we saw last season. As Alexander, one of those guys as a freshman last year and now as a sophomore, has taken that next step as the Vikings push it down the floor. Shot fake for Nixon in the corner to the basket, can't get it to fall as he couldn't finish inside. Here's the freshman Allen to the basket, hanging, couldn't finish, put back off the mark for Jaden Taylor, who came skying in for the rebound. Nixon crossing over, finger roll, can't go. Kenny Hunter blocked by Jones. Alexander, 4-3, short off the front end of the rim. He'll get his own rebound. That floater's up and through. And I finally have a minute to pause.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds. Coach Hart's not liking that. Hunter kept it alive with a tip out there. Smart heads-up basketball.
And Kenny Hunter, he's got the tough defensive assignment of sticking with Jaden Taylor both on the glass and defensively. And he's doing a good job of kind of negating the Jaden Taylor effect, if you will, here early on. Hart thought about it. Now we'll let the three fly off the mark. Here comes the freshman Holden. He's going to clear it out, get the play call here. 2:24 and ticking, and a 22-18 lead for St. E's here on the road. Gets past the defender and Allen. Floater won't go. Long rebound tipped away and into the hands now of Hart, who's got a full head of steam the other direction. And just like that, 22-20 lead back into the hands of, on the scoreboard it says St. Elizabeth. As this one's tipped around and the Sanford defense almost forcing another turnover. But the score is 22-20 St. E's.
Got some pushing and shoving off the ball here.
Nixon, hesitation, got to the basket, and then the block by Taylor. We'll see who they give the foul to.
Taylor is not making it easy for the St. E's offensive players attacking the basket.
So they're going to get the freshman, Jacob Allen. So Jacob Allen will get the foul. I guess he got a hand in there as Nixon went up before the Taylor block. And now 2 free throws. Haven't seen too many free throws here in the first half, Coach. Is up and through for Nixon.
Yeah, both teams are playing a clean game. There is a little bit of bumping here and there, but the refs are allowing it to go. You know, we talk about advantage, disadvantage, and, you know, they're not feeling as though anybody's being put at a disadvantage and creating an advantage for themselves. Taylor is the son of J.J. Taylor, former Claymont High School All-Stater that played in the mid-'80s. Quite a basketball player. And then we have Hart, whose brother is the head coach.
How about
Hart.
that?
So, quite the family affair and some Delaware basketball history.
Gotta love it. As Holden pokes it away. And so composed on his way down the floor. So St. E's, and we were tied at 20. Going on a little run here. Elgood drives and kicks to the corner. 48 seconds to go in the first half. Hart, strong drive inside. The floater's too short. He gets his own rebound, though, and we'll have a foul on the floor after he corralled the board.
One of the things I really liked the last couple of possessions down is there we had a high ball screen by Taylor. Taylor rolls to the basket, and there's 2 defenders on him. Great defensive strategy by Coach Cassidy, not allowing Taylor high percentage or even to receive the ball in high percentage areas.
Just 1 field goal in the first half for Jaden Taylor. So you mentioned it, Coach. A good job from Coach Cassidy on the game plan to take him out of it early. 26-20. Here he is. Gets it to Elgood. He's drilled 2 threes already today. Now they'll reset with 23 seconds. .15 as we go back up top to Elgood. 26-20, Sanford lead. Around the screen, Taylor pick and pop for Jaden. And the deep mid-range jumper's off the mark. 4 seconds for the Vikings to get a shot off. It's Alexander. 2 at the buzzer will count if it goes. He's actually fouled on the shot. And this foul is a battle, and it's going to go against Azir Elgood. And that should be 3 free throws coming up for the sophomore Kyan Alexander. And, Coach, that's one thing that's not going to make Coach Hart happy.
No, not a good thing to have happen. You want to make sure you have some spacing there and don't give, any opportunity for the foul to be called. Again, great defensive possession down there by St. E's, stymieing Sanford.
And the first one goes for Alexander. He'll have 2 more on the way. Big quarter for the sophomore Kyan Alexander. He's got 9 points. He was able to knock down the last free throw. It'll be a double-digit quarter for him. He'll have 10. And he knocked them all down. So 10 points in the quarter, give him 15 in the game. That's a game high for Alexander. The free throws will send the teams into the locker room. As the Vikings, they get 3 more at the buzzer there, Coach. They lead 29-20 here on the road against Sanford. What stood out to you there at the first half?
The defensive pressure, and, I thought they kind of kept Taylor in check. You had indicated that he only had scored 2 points up to this point. Their ability to rotate defensively, and then they get out in transition. And, if it's not broke,
That's right.
Let's keep it going. It's something we've seen the St. E's team do, and it's not an easy team to defend. A lot of the things they're doing, they're sharing the ball, they're making the extra pass. I think both teams, would like to box out a little bit better. I saw both ends of the floor giving up some offensive rebounds. Sanford, I think they need to get some higher percentage shots. I think they're settling for that deep shot rather than attacking the basket, getting some foul shots. We'd indicate there weren't many foul shots there in the first half.
And to your point, none for Sanford.
Yeah, so, that goes, something as a coach, Coach Hart, is going to probably make that adjustment at halftime. But, fun and exciting first half, and look forward to a great second half.
Absolutely. We'll be back with second half action. It's 29-20. St. E's with a 9-point lead on the road in a battle of 2 of the best teams in the state of Delaware. We'll be right back with your second half here on 302 Sports.
Barkley Heating and Air. Barkley's can work on all brands specializing in air conditioners, gas, oil, and heat pumps. Family owned and operated with over 17 years of experience. Licensed, insured, and a multiple-year First State Favorites winner. Barkley Heating and Air offers 24-hour emergency service with service plans available. Customer satisfaction guaranteed. Call 302-653-5971 for a free estimate today. John and Ginger Barkley are looking forward to serving the community. Find them on the web at barkleyheatingandair.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all the seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
But have you tried Premier?
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon.
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. If someone called me to do a job, I always said yes. Whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
I'm Chef Hari Cameron. At Grandpa Mac, pasta's our thing. We serve quality food fast that's not fast food. We make everything in-house and serve something for everyone. We're open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Follow the noodle to Grandpa Mac.
Turn your vision into a reality with Capstone Homes Design Center, bringing personalization, luxury, and quality all into one location, where you'll meet with our certified design consultant that'll show you exactly what you're choosing, so you can make the best choice for you when designing your new home. From first home to vacation houses, we build and design homes for everyone. Set up your appointment now and design your dream home today at Capstone Homes.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodell Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodell Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Citadel Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience.
Teams heading back out on the floor for the start of half number 2 here on 302 Sports. Saturday afternoon hoops coming live to you here from Hockessin Sanford High School. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach, John Kaleja, Jason Winchell, our producer, and Pat, our director, Mike Lang, our camera operator. We are underway in the second half, the third quarter, 29-20 in favor of St. Elizabeth. They got the 3 points at the line as the buzzer was 0 on the clock in the second, thanks to a Kyan Alexander foul, three free throws. So here we go, coaches. We're underway in the second half. And underway to get things started is Kareem Hart, who was able to knock down the 3. Missed a few in the first half, but finds his stroke here early in the third quarter.
Good defense there, sagging in, clogging up the lane by St. E's, and Sanford settles again for the 3, but they make it this time. Let's see what continues to happen.
Alexander catch and shoot from the corner. Taylor with the strong rebound off the miss. Hart leaves it for Elgood. Elgood, floater is good, and Sanford looking good to start the third quarter.
Some good momentum, and they're out pressuring defensively here.
They came out a couple times here in the last few games. We've seen them a lot more energy out of the locker room to start those third quarters. I know I mentioned the slow starts the last few weeks for the Warriors. Price using that offhand. Instead, he'll get fouled, and they will give that to Taylor. So 5 to start the third quarter here for St. Elizabeth. Kenny Hunter, Stephen Nixon Jr., Price, Holden, and Alexander. And then for Sanford, it's Elgood, Hart, Jones, Webster getting the start here in the third quarter, and Jaden Taylor.
Got some defensive miss. Okay, they switched up. They had Taylor out on a guard there initially.
Good on-ball defense here from Taylor. Hunter has been limited, focusing a lot on his defense on Taylor on the other side. As Alexander drives, kicks, and there's that Jaden Taylor length, able to get in the passing lane, and instead leaves it for DJ Jones, and Sanford clicking here to start the second half. It continues.
7 straight points, good defense, good transition. Taylor had a little tip as he was slipping.
So Taylor now making that impact here to start the second half. Got the steal and the assist on that one. A few strong rebounds here to start the third quarter as St. E's looking to stop this little run. Hunter to the basket and got it to go. And he's been their leading scorer all year, and he's got his first field goal and a tough shot over Taylor. Elgood got downhill. A nice pass from Jones to lead him into 2.
one of the things we had talked about in the first half. If Sanford could get some of those higher percentage shots, they found a crack in the St. E's defense, which has been very, very solid up to this point in the half court.
31-29, St. E's lead cut to 2. Somehow Nixon got that one over Taylor, but the shot wouldn't fall, and now the Warriors come out with the rebound. Elgood up ahead to Taylor. Taylor off of 2 feet, up and in.
We're all tied up at 31 after a 9-point deficit at halftime by Sanford.
A quick erase of that deficit as well it's been a quick 3 minutes, and Sanford, as you mentioned, Coach, are already able to tie this thing up. Hunter stops, tough shot with the right hand. Jones wanted the 3. Instead, he'll pass it up, probably the smart choice. As they'll work it around, and then Hunter anticipating that pass to Taylor on the block and comes, intercepts it. Almost already halfway through the third quarter, a quick pace here. And we talked about the lack of free throws. Sanford is still yet to shoot a free throw in the ball game. And St. Elizabeth has just shot 5 of them. They've made all 5. And a whistle on the floor. Webster's arms up, so I'm assuming it's going to be against number 3 in white. Get it into Alexander as we now are halfway through the third. Off the dribble, Kyan Alexander. Deep 3 won't go. Hart with a strong rebound. As they get it up ahead, Elgood drives on the baseline, has Trevor Webster, who takes it in with the left hand through contact, +1. A 13-point quarter already here for the Warriors in the third with 3:44 to go, and Webster at the free throw line with 1 on the way. First free throw of the game here for Sanford, and Webster, who can't hit it.
Let's see if St. E's, I was just going to say, see if St. E's can put together a good offensive possession and get the ball into the lane. Ball was tipped off of that shot. St. E's will retain possession of the ball.
A little bit of confusion there with the referees. Taylor did get a hand on it, as Coach mentioned, so we'll stay with the Vikings. They just had to confirm that. And now it's the St. E's to inbound. Hunter going up strong through Taylor. That's a tough job. Gets his own miss, and then fouled by Taylor or Jones underneath.
Good resiliency by Hunter there. Get his own rebound and keep trying to get that high percentage shot, getting rewarded going to the foul line for 2.
3:20 to go. And Sanford storming all the way back now to lead by 2, as you mentioned, and now Hunter a chance as he misses the first. So just 2 points in the quarter for St. Elizabeth, and it was Hunter that went off the window. He missed both free throws. And now here's that pressure from St. E's in the backcourt. Sanford trying to beat it. Webster has it stripped by Nixon. Hart tried to put it right up off the bounce, and he's fouled. Now they're going to get number 1 there. That's going to be Harris. I believe his second personal. And that's going to send Hart to the free throw line. Sanford 0 for 1 at the line. It was Webster missing the 3-point free throw on the last trip. And the first free throw made of the ball game here for the Warriors goes to Hart. One and 2 from the line. 34-31, 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Live on 302 Sports at Sanford and St. Elizabeth. Hunter around the back. That would have been a highlight. Can't hit it over the baseline. Offensive rebound, though. Harris. Crowd wanted to travel. Instead, it's Nixon on the baseline. Can't hit it. And then bodies corralling around Nixon underneath. It was Jones, Hart, and Taylor. We'll see who they give the foul to. It'll be Jones as Hart lobbying for the travel.
Sanford's defense is almost a carbon copy of what we saw with St. E's in the first half, doing a very nice job of keeping St. E's out of the lane and not allowing them to get high percentage shots. You see a little bit of frustration setting in. We'll see, Coach, there was a timeout here by Sanford, but let's see what adjustments St. E's makes coming out here out of the timeout.
Sanford coming out of the locker room with a lot of energy to begin this third quarter. We talked about the run they went on to start. Webster did get to start in the second half for the Warriors. Here in the third quarter for Sanford, Elgood scored 4, Webster with 2, Jones with 2, Taylor with 2, and Hart with 4. So 4 guys getting on the score sheet here in the third quarter. That's allowed them to come back and take a one-possession lead with 2:35 to go in the third. And the only points for the Vikings here in the third quarter are Kenny Hunter early with that field goal he had down on the baseline. Other than that, the Vikings been held scoreless.
14-2 here so far in the third quarter. Nice vantage point here. I get to look into both teams' huddles. I kind of feel like I'm on ESPN, but I'm kind of seeing what Coach Cassidy is drawing up here and what defensive scheme Coach Hart's going to be coming out with.
I'll tell you, that's a good point, Coach. I like that. Take you inside there of what inside the huddle, and you'll be seeing a lot of that there once we get to tournament time. Nick Holliday with that wireless camera will be taking you inside some of those team huddles with the coaches as both teams back out onto the floor with 2:35 to go here in quarter number 3. And we'll see what St. Elizabeth draws up here out of the timeout under the basket. They'll come up, it's Hunter going to set a screen here up high for Holden. And back to Hunter they go on the baseline, one-on-one with Taylor. And Taylor rejects it as Hunter tried to take him down low. Hart almost had that pass picked off by Alexander. It got to Webster. And then Elgood going to line up a deep 3. He's made a couple already. That one's off the mark. Last touched by Taylor.
I was going to make mention here, Sanford looked like they were being very patient offensively, and then they settled for the 3.
Holden getting downhill. That floater is usually money. That one rolls out. Webster with some steam and counted, and the foul.
Taylor making his presence felt down there, changing the last few possessions for St. E's. Got the block 2 possessions ago and then altered the shot there.
Through contact, up and through for Webster. Second field goal of the third quarter. Another and one opportunity at the free throw line. He's missed both of those, but he's really starting to get things going for the Warriors. He started this third quarter.
Like to see good quality possessions by St. Elizabeth here as we approach the last minute and a half.
Alexander gonna let the defender go by. The 3 won't go as Hart wanted to travel, but a second chance here for St. E's. Nixon inside and finishing, and the Vikings able to pull out a field goal, a much needed one.
A dreaded offensive rebound. Something you don't want to give up to keep the momentum if you're Sanford.
Hart gets past Nixon. He's gonna get right to the basket. Nobody stopped the basketball, and Hart finds 2. 6 in the quarter for Hart. He's got 10 in the game. And a turnover there. Elgood to a trailing Hart. 4-3 won't fall. 36 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Holden is fouled on the way up, and if that was blocked, it was close to a goaltend. So not sure if they were going to count it, but with the foul, they might want to discuss it.
I just heard the official say it was just a foul. No
Gotcha.
goaltending there, but yep, I can agree there.
It was close. So instead, going to be 2 free throws for the freshman Deshaun Holden, who's having himself a heck of a year. 4 points in this game as the young freshman rounded out on the first free throw, but dealing with a little bit of a back issue here as of late. So kind of a pain tolerance thing for him, being a young player, trying to find, what he's been able to do and what he can't do. But great to see him get the start today. Seems to be in a good rhythm here for Sadie. He's playing most of the game, so looking healthy out there. 1 of 2 from the line. 5 points in the game for Holden, 38-34. A 4-point ball game and potentially the last possession of the third quarter coming here for the Warriors. 22 seconds and ticking.
Sanford's going to be content taking the last shot.
Ten seconds. Elgood off the dribble is going to draw the foul on a trailing Holden. And a nice job by Elgood to sell it. And he's going to get to the free throw line with 10 seconds to go. And Elgood not gun shy. When he's got an open shot, he's going to take it, and he's made a lot tonight. Or today, excuse me, Freudian slip. Knocks down the first free throw. 1 more on the way for Azir Elgood. Really made a name for himself last year as a young player on this Sanford team, and this year having himself a heck of a season. He's now got 11 in the game, make it 12. 6 seconds for Alexander, 4. Gets past the defender, splits him, the floater won't go. And Alexander looking for the foul call, but won't get it as time expires here in the third. 40-34 is Sanford with an explosive third quarter. They're going to take that lead into the fourth. We'll discuss it when we come back here on 302 Sports. Sanford and St. Elizabeth. It's a close one as we head to the fourth quarter.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Back on 302 Sports, fourth quarter right around the corner here. 8 minutes on the clock, 40-34. Sanford with a big third quarter to come back. They were down 9 at the half, Coach. They now lead by 6 as we start the fourth. What stood out to you there in that third quarter in the big run by the Warriors?
I felt that Sanford kind of flipped the script and was getting in for some high percentage shots where St. E's started settling for, the outside shot. But, you got to, just like we did in the first half, we complimented St. E's defense. I compliment Sanford's defense with helping that run there in the third quarter. Just doing a great job and keeping St. E's out of lane, not allowing them, to get the shots inside the paint.
You just saw those banners on your screen there up on the wall, and Coach Kaleja having something to do with those as we are back underway here in the fourth quarter. And saves to Coach Cassidy had a chance to tell the team at the end of the third as Holden gets in. Tough shot over the freshman Jacob Allen, and he can't hit it. Webster saves in the corner but throws it away to Nixon. Nixon stripped from behind, and then a foul in the backcourt on him as he got a piece of Allen. In that third quarter, Coach, Sanford outscoring St. Elizabeth 20-5. And now has been the difference so far in the ballgame. Has the Warriors up by 6, and now they've got possession. 7:20 to go in the ballgame as the snow, I believe, starting to lighten up out there. And Here's Hart. Might have thrown it away. Nope, they're going to say touched by St. Elizabeth's. Going to stay down that end.
I think one of the things you may be looking for here to see if Sanford, tries to elongate their possessions offensively and shorten the game, so to speak.
Freshman Allen back in as well here for Sanford. As I mentioned, he gets it over into the hands of Azir Elgood. Been the hot hand scoring today. Here trying to get it to Taylor down low. And going to stay down that side of the floor.
You'll hear coaches say, let's not just take a good shot, but let's look for that great shot. And that's what I think you're going to look from both teams. St. E's obviously needs some great shots, but I think you'll see Sanford. When I watched a couple of their game films, I noticed that late in the fourth quarter.
That shot was errant off the hands of Elgood out of play, so St. E's will take over with possession, 6:36. Still a two-possession game.
Let's see what St. E's does here on the offensive end.
Trying to free up Hunter down low. They think he has a mismatch on Kareem Hart, and he does.
And he was rewarded for that.
Does the second field goal of the game for Kenny Hunter Jr. But again, that's been the battle. Him and Taylor really doing a great job on each other defensively, as that was tipped away by Cayenne, so going to be able to stay in possession of the Warriors. No backcourt violation. Webster took a hand on the slap and able to finger roll it up and through with the left. It's going to be the third play that Trevor Webster has had a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play as he heads back to the free throw line. The previous two, he was unable to convert it at the free throw. So we'll see if he can do it this time. But Webster giving the Sanford Warriors a nice scoring option off the bench.
Doing a very nice job along with Allen. Allen's very unassuming out there, but he's making his presence felt on both ends of the court as well.
Another free throw missed that time for Sanford and Webster. And he's got the skeleton Halloween Kobe Bryant's on for Trevor Webster. I like to see that. And I believe, oh, nope, not going to step on the baseline. Instead, we're going to have a foul down there under the basket on Jaden Taylor. So you can see his facial expression there on the call. Let's see what foul that is on Jaden. So 5:36, St. E's will inbound after the foul under the basket. And now Sanford with a 6-point lead. Nixon fakes the shot, stuck down low. Good defense by Sanford. It leads to a tough floater from Cayenne Alexander, and somehow drops it through with his left hand.
Sweet, sweet, very nice shot.
There's Webster, gets to his spot inside the free throw line. Jump shot misses. There's the freshman Jacob Allen hustling on the floor. And the tie-up as the freshman Holden was looking for the travel, as he thought when he went and corralled the ball on the ground. Coach obviously was on his knees. What did you see on that one as we have a timeout on the floor?
Trying to figure out whether they called a jump ball or a
yeah,
5
I'm
set.
not sure
I
either.
don't know if he was timeout. They awarded the timeout.
They gave it to Sanford, so it will be Sanford. Oh, they called timeout. Excuse me.
Yes.
So not a tie-up, not a travel. It was a timeout after he got the basketball. There we go.
I saw the ref put 5 fingers up. I was like, is he really calling a 5-second count?
Yeah, I was confused as well. I didn't know what they had called down on the floor, but officials doing a pretty good job here in this one. 42-38, a 4-point game. And what have you seen here at the start? The fourth quarter was obviously that big third for Sanford. They've taken the lead, and St. E's trying to get back into it here, but haven't really found their rhythm offensively.
That's exactly it. St. E's is trying to find the rhythm that they had in the first half. And knowing Coach Cassidy, knowing these, basketball players, they're going to find it here. I think we're going to be in for a treat, as we enter into the last 5 minutes of the quarter, or the game here, I should say. But again, one of the things I always look for as both a coach and announcer is what is Sanford going to do here? Are they going to run a little bit of a, as we like to call it, a blob, which would be a baseline out of bounds play, or are they just going to be content getting it out and then running something in a half court? So let's see. They got Taylor taking the ball at. Let's see if it involves him.
I'm with you there, and now they'll switch it up. They're going to have Webster do it. So we'll see what Coach draws up. They get it out to Taylor. He'll dribble handoff to Elgood, and now Webster comes up and replaces him here on the perimeter. Hart, pass Nixon, and beautiful defense by Nixon to recover and steal the pass on the baseline.
Great hands, a staple of St. E's defense.
Hunter in rhythm, 4-3, too strong. So a quick shot on the other end for St. Elizabeth. It was an open three, but off the mark, and now ball back in the hands of the Warriors. We're approaching halfway point of the fourth, still 4:30 to go here.
Sanford is running the flex offense. It's a flex cut, then a down screen.
That ball tipped out of bounds, going to stay with the Warriors. So this lineup here out for them as it stands now is Allen, Elgood, Taylor, Hart, and Webster. So a little bit of a different look of the five on the floor for the Warriors. Hart to inbound. And he gets it to Elgood, and now they'll set the offense. Poked away by Nixon, will stay with the Warriors. 4:01 remaining in this one. Alexander on Elgood, a little 2-on-2 here. Hart catch and shoot from the corner, tried to draw the foul late, won't get the call, and now off to the races are the Vikings. It's Harris driving, extra pass into the corner, is passed up by Nixon, and now they'll have to settle here into the half-court offense. Nixon spins the other way, beautiful feed to the freshman Holden, cutting to the basket.
It's a sign of a very good team being unselfish with the basketball, finding that great shot as we had talked about earlier.
Pass up a good one for a great one. The mantra of Coach John Kaleja. 3:20 to go. Floater inside. Taylor knocked it out of play after the Hart miss.
What I really liked there on St. E's defensive possession was they boxed out. They carved out that little half circle that you want to see. Taylor might have even gotten called for a foul or a little displacement over there.
Hunter once again trying to take Taylor, and this time he'll get the foul call. So Hunter wanted the isolation matchup against one of the best defenders in the state, and he'll head to the free throw line after drawing the foul. So Kenny Hunter Jr., and again to this point about a few weeks ago, was coming in averaging 20 points a game. Tonight, though, or today, I should say, having the defensive assignment of Jaden Taylor, most likely obviously taking a little bit of that offensive game away to focus defensively. But able to knock down a few as of late, had 2 points in the third, 2 already here in the fourth, and now a chance to add on at the line as he hits the first. Here comes DJ Jones, and again, he must have been on the bench, I'm assuming, in foul trouble here as of late in the second half. Haven't seen too much of number 5 in white. As Hunter, 1 of 2, able to split a pair from the line for St. E's, and we've got a 1-point game, Coach.
Taylor, yes, is out of the game. That's who Jones came in for.
Jones to the basket, pick and roll, couldn't finish it, but he's got the miss after St. E's couldn't handle it, and he puts it right back up and in, a big bucket.
Get some fresh legs off the bench. This can be a little taxing here in the game, running up and down with both teams through 4 quarters.
Assuming we'll see Taylor at the next whistle, maybe. 2:28. Getting downhill is Harris, and he scores. Timeout on the floor.
What a great angle, tough finish. Keep his composure as he went through there and kiss it off the glass at a very, very tough angle. St. E's calls a timeout here with 2:24 to go in the fourth quarter, trailing by 1.
What a game we got here Saturday afternoon between these two teams, and they've been between 1 and 3 all year long in the 302 Sports Top 10 rankings. And as it stands, I believe coming into today, St. Elizabeth is number 1 and Sanford is number 3. So Dover splitting them in the middle there at number 2. We've seen all 3 of those teams play each other throughout the year. That's been fun. And now, Coach, here we are with 2:24, a 44-43 game between St. Elizabeth and Sanford. I'm assuming Jaden Taylor is going to be in here after the break, potentially. And if you look over the balcony, what do you see in these two coaches talk about here as we head back out on the floor? What would you be saying to your teams in this situation?
If you're St. E's, you want a good, solid, I'm assuming they're going to come out and press here. Sanford, obviously, you want to handle that press, get in. We saw a little bit of the flex offense. Coach Hart's probably going to draw up a nice little set. Maybe you get it into Taylor. Taylor's been their go-to down inside the paint. You want high percentage shots, things that are going to, lead to some momentum and give you an advantage heading in here.
It's Elgood, Webster, Jones, Taylor, and Hart for Sanford. Kyan Alexander, Harris, Holden, Nixon Jr., and Hunter for St. E's, and we are underway. 44-43 lead for the home team, Sanford, 2:20 to go. Elgood's been the hot hand, at least offensively, today for Sanford. A little hesitation, then he gets right to the basket, can't finish, but how about Hart, who was alongside Taylor? They dominate the glass, it's back up and in.
The dreaded offensive rebound. St. E's doesn't like giving that up. Sanford likes it. Bumps it to a three-point game.
And you pointed out the boxing out on the previous possession before the timeout. As Nixon catch and shoot straightaway 3, no good. Rebounds tipped around, then Taylor tips it to his teammate Webster. And we're gonna have a whistle and a foul on Hunter, who got a hand in on it down the other side on the pass to Taylor. He tipped it away, but it's gonna result in a personal foul. And a big one here on the Vikings, though not enough to send them to the line just yet.
3 team fouls on St. E's and 2 on Sanford, so both are a couple away from shooting any foul shots.
1:30 to go, 1 possession game. Sanford with the ball up by 3, good defense by Nixon. And then Alexander has the steal to the basket. Timeout on the floor. Kyan Alexander's first field goal of the second half. He had 15 in the first half. And that one all started with the defense out on the perimeter by Steven Nixon Jr.
Such great defense by St. E's, a staple of their team. One of the things that I've noticed with, every one of their players, they do such a great job moving their feet defensively. In this case, he moves his feet, does a great job on the Sanford offensive player, gets a tip, and a nice little transition layup.
St. E's now outscoring Sanford 9-6 in the quarter. They trail now by 1. As we've been back and forth here in the second half, it was that 20-5 outscoring that Sanford did in the third that had positioned them with the lead heading into the fourth quarter. And then St. E's a little bit getting back right into it here now, just trailing by 1. As this thing has been a close game throughout from wire to wire. And now just 1:19 to go, and Coach, you alluded to it, we were going to be in for a great finish, and it seems like you were correct.
No doubt, both teams are, very talented and going back and forth, trading punches. One of the things I was going to ask you is how many teams, like we talk about the boys side of the tournament, and when I look at it, realistically, I'm looking at probably 10 to 12 teams that could, compete
it's
and win.
It's crazy. I mean, it really is. And to your point, we talk about the parity, each and every year we like to see it. Usually there's a couple teams that stand above the rest. I mean, it is wide open this year. It is going to be an extremely fun postseason, which is just around the corner. Early March will be here before we know it. Pressure here from St. Elizabeth in the backcourt.
Looking for a trap.
And they're able to break it, at least for the moment. And now they'll set up their offense here with 1:05 to go, up by 1. Taylor pick and roll, and emphatically throwing it down in a big bucket as we tick under a minute. 6 points for Jaden Taylor. Sanford up by 3. Quick trigger down the other end for Alexander. Mid-range jumper doesn't go. And a quick shot for the Vikings after the make by Taylor. And then a quick foul by Kenny Hunter Jr. And that'll be the 4th team foul. So what did you see there in the last minute or so? It was Taylor on the pick and roll. He throws it down, a big bucket there, then a quick shot on the other end for St. Elizabeth.
I was waiting for that from Sanford, and St. E's didn't do as good a job as they've done previously, and he gets a nice little slam with that. And St. E's settled for the, tough off-balance shot right there. So let's see what they do defensively and they pick up the foul. One of the things I would like to see my team do, instead of just grabbing or reaching the foul, let's lock up on your man, deny the ball, don't allow them to get that, and make them work to get the ball inbounds or make them work to get the ball up the court.
As that free throw is up and in for Elgood.
We have a 2-possession game now with 4-point lead by Sanford.
And he's got another one. 14 points for Azir Elgood, and now a 5-point game. Nixon hanging inside. Another quick shot. Not a lot of passing as we have a foul in the backcourt. St. Elizabeth's taken 2 quick shots on the other end. Isolated jump shots, one from Alexander. That one a tough one from Nixon, who tried to take his man one-on-one. And those guys can make those shots for sure, and a lot of the time they will. But 2 tough shots here down the stretch for St. Elizabeth.
Bumping the lead to 5. St. E's, again, I would like to see them go for the ball, not just go and grab somebody or get the foul. You can see a little frustration setting in. Sanford's feeling comfortable. Sanford, you want to make these foul shots to increase the lead. St. E's, make sure that you're boxing out. Don't give up any offensive rebounds on that foul shot, and look to get out quickly and get a good high percentage shot.
And Coach Cassidy, as we saw it on the floor, choosing to foul early, as you mentioned, with about 40 seconds or 48 seconds, and trying to send Sanford to the line. And before that Elgood trip, they were just 3 of 7 from the free throw line, so they wanted to make the Warriors make some free throws. But Elgood, he's been the exception. He is 4 for 4 from the line, and he buried those 2 as well just now at the line. So 50-45, ball in the hands of the Vikings. And again, we've seen 2 quick trigger shots here up and down the floor the last few possessions. And we'll see what they can do after the free throw here from free throws from Webster.
You made mention of, finding the foul shooters and maybe possibly, if you are going to foul those ones that are having the lower shooting percentage from the free throw line.
And Webster 0 for 3 today at the line. And again, not a poor free throw shooter. Just has struggled there today, but he gets back on track with that one. So Webster having himself a great second half and a good game off the bench for Sanford. He's got 11 points. He's into double figures. 52-45 as Sanford down with a 7-point lead. And St. Elizabeth's taking their time a little bit here. And Alexander, though, will get fouled, and he's upset. He wants some movement there on the offensive end, a lot of standing around. But a bad foul there for Sanford, as now you put St. E's on the line with the clock stopped.
Yes, that makes it a little bit tougher. You'd like to play good D, not foul. And keep the clock running.
Yep, knocks down the first for Kyan Alexander. Continues his pretty good performance today. 18 points, make it 19 for Alexander. And now
clock started running early there.
52-47, and then, as you might have heard on the microphone there, clock starting, maybe losing about 7 or 8 seconds potentially on that one. I'm not sure if they will correct it or not, as Hart will make his way down for some more free throws. So since about the 45-second mark, it's been free throw shooting for the Warriors. And that one off the mark for Hart.
Sanford elects not to put anyone in, putting all their players back with a little bit of token pressure. Clock started running again before the ball was touched.
And that one out of bounds. And you were right about that, and instead that shot most likely going to seal the deal for Sanford, who was the #1 team all year for most of the year. Then St. E's taking over that role, and then Sanford gets a win over the Vikings here at home, 53-47. Your leading scorer was Azir Elgood, followed by Kareem Hart. Hart did have 13. And Elgood finishes with 14. Alexander, the game high of 19 points for St. E's. But Coach, St. E's led by 9 at the end of the first half. And then Sanford winning the game by 6, outscoring obviously St. Elizabeth's in the second half. It was that big 20-5 third quarter that got them started, and they held on to the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can tell both these teams are going to be two of the top teams come tournament time. You know, you see a lot of good things here, you know, and not to be redundant, but, you know, this is the type of test you want to have, win or lose, to see what things you need to work on.
Absolutely.
So again, you know, one of my favorite phrases is to chisel away at the imperfections, and I think both coaches, both programs will look to do that as we head into tournament time. They both play very competitive schedules, and a lot of good basketball out here today. And in the boys' side of the bracket, you know, you're seeing, what are we saying, 10, maybe even 15 teams
wide open.
Yeah. So, you know, and different teams have beaten each other, you know, this year. You know, I'm sure at this point St. E's would like to see a nice little rematch come tournament time. But, you know, you go, you learn from these things, and you go back in and you start working on them, you know, in at practice as we get going next week.
Oh, sure. You said St. E's wants a rematch. Well, add me to that list. I'd love to see a rematch as well. This one down the stretch. I'm going to have to steal that from you. Chisel the imperfections. I like that as well. There you have from Coach John Kaleja. 53-47 is now, I believe we're going to send it down the floor in a moment with our 302 player of the game, who today is Azir Elgood. And he had 14 points. So we'll hear from Azir after the break. A quick commercial here as we head to the postgame. 53-47, a comeback win for the Sanford Warriors.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
And welcome back inside 302 Sports, putting a bow on this one. As Azir Elgood, you can see him being interviewed by our Mike Lang. That video will be posted. He is our 302 player of the game, so look out on our social media for this interview coming with Azir Elgood. 14 points in the big win here over #1 ranked St. Elizabeth. So, Coach, we're going to put a bow on this one. 43-47, Sanford battles back. They get the win. We talked about how wide open this boys' postseason tournament could be here in early March. We're all looking forward to it. Is there anything that really stood out to you? What did you take away from this matchup between two of the best teams in the state?
You know, I thought that, both teams have multiple players that they can go to. We saw it today. Sanford did not need to solely rely on, Jaden Taylor. And St. E's, to me, has been the consummate team where they've shared the ball, I look forward to them doing that. And then today we saw Sanford. We saw, a couple young freshmen, Allen.
That's right.
And, when Jones was in foul trouble, he came back in when Taylor sat for a bit. So having that option and not just have one or two players, but to have a more well-rounded, team that shares the ball and is unselfish are key things that are going to be, paramount for each one of these teams and any team going into the state tournament.
That's right. Again, after this one, you want to chisel the imperfections, right, Coach? As Coach Galeja likes to say. We'll see what these two teams can do that. And then, of course, they'll be back in action next week. But do not forget, we will be back in action on Tuesday night, where it'll be Howard making the trip to Odessa. It'll be the Wildcats and the Ducks. Glenn Frazier will be on the call for that one down in the Middletown area. Beautiful gym over there at Odessa. So that's going to be a good one. Two very talented teams. Again, part of that 10-15 that we were talking about, that could make a run for a state championship. So for everybody here at Sanford High School up on the balcony here at Stan Waterman Court, Nick Alessandrini, the coach John Kaleja, Jason Winchell, Patrick Arianis, and Mike Lang. We will see you on Tuesday for the Ducks and the Wildcats. But today in a big 1-versus-3 matchup, it's the Warriors who take down the top-ranked Vikings 53-47.